Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. And as we continue our conversations, I'm chatting with the representatives from the Speyside Secondary High School. And this morning to have that conversation with me, I have a full house actually. I have Mr. Shane Andrews, who is a teacher, as well as Mrs. Nikita Frank Charles, and Mr. Randy Taylor, who is also the guidance counselor. And this morning we're talking about enriching the students and presenting a more holistic approach to education and youth development. And this is what the Speyside High School has been up to recently. And recently they have had their Boys and Girls Enrichment Program. And this morning we're going to talk about the success of that initiative and what we can look forward to in the future from the Speyside High School. Mr. Andrews, Mr. Taylor, sorry? Shane Andrews, right? And Mr. Taylor, let us know, what was the initiative about? How did it come about?
Well, it started in 2005 under the directive of the then principal, Miss Hackett, who is now the school supervisor 3. And the initiative was to positively impact the young people of the school, the students of the school, through motivation, guidance, and inspiration. So from that, you found that everything that was geared towards the students was linked to these 3 components: motivation, guidance, and inspiration.
Excellent. And Mrs. Frank Charles, tell us a bit about what the program entailed and who were some of the companies or representatives that were there present at that enrichment day.
Okay, so good morning, Tobago. The program basically is split into 2, boys and girls. Okay. So girls, along with the females, went to a different part of the school, while boys went to a different part. So I would talk basically about the girls, because that is what I know. We had, to begin the program, we had Miss the Honorable Deputy Chief Secretary talking to us, right? Along with, I think it's Tobago only sexologist, Miss Onika Henry, talking to us about health, girls, health, women, health, and our sexuality. And then we went forward to the incredible group, TPAC, that gave us a wonderful performance about bullying and how to deal with bullying. And then we ended it off with, as you can see the pictures that are showing, different beauty culture, different jewelry making, as well as interacting with persons, past students that came to enlighten on the girls how they could be a better person and not stick to what they know. So we had like lawyers, we had like fashion designers, we had hairdressers come in, we had even a young lady who was once a part of the school that is now a plumber, you know, to show the girls that we don't have to be in a box.
That's right.
We could expand and be whatever we want to be. Excellent. You know, so it was a really powerful session for us.
Excellent. And Mr. Andrews, I see that there's a photo there of a number of the past students, and you indicated that the past student played a key role. Why was it important for you guys to really involve the past students of the school in this Boys and Girls Enrichment Day?
Well, pleasant morning to the viewing and listening audience. It was necessary to recall past student role models so that the students, and the boys in particular, well, I could speak to the girls as well, could relate to persons that would have been where they are currently. And in addition to that, by sharing their experiences, that would have provided some inspiration for the students. Well, if they were where we are currently at and would have caused maybe disruption, or as we may say, troublemakers in the school, and at the end of the day, they turn out to be successful professionals in their own fields and capacity, then of course that's the inspiration and the hope and the spark that we would need or require in order to do the same. So all is not lost. All they required was a flicker of light. And these past student role models, they provided that flicker of light for the students.
Excellent. And I had no choice to smile because I could definitely relate to that. And tell us a bit about what was specific to the boys. What was the program that you had that was specific to the boys?
Okay. Well, we had Dr. Dean, I think it was, that came in and spoke to personal hygiene, well, the male anatomy and physiology, and sexuality, sorry, because our team was strong boys, real men. And it was important for the boys to understand the role that they play, right? Not only in the homes, but in society as well. Of course, we are keenly aware of boys' underachievement and the stigma that surrounds males, particularly here in the Caribbean. So it was necessary, we thought, during our planning, to bring in engaging participants like members and representatives of the Drug and Boat Association. We also brought in a past student who is a mechanic. We also brought in a past student who is an air condition refrigeration technician to show them, well, hey, these are alternative routes besides the core academic program that you guys can follow based on your latent potential and abilities. And it is not necessary or cast in stone that everyone has to become a lawyer or a physician or a professional accountant. The alternative paths that you can follow and do extremely well based on your strengths, your abilities, and your likings.
Well, I mean, it seems like the students were extremely excited and it was quite engaging, not just sitting and listening to the lecture, but they got a chance to really get into it. You know, we saw one of the students actually participating in that dragon boat thing.
Right.
And Mr. Taylor, tell us, do you really deem the event to have been a success, and what are the measures of success that you guys are using?
Just the very question gives me goosebumps because as a guidance counselor, I'm always at the heart of the students. You know, they come and they share how they feel on a day-to-day basis. And oftentimes you will hear some negative comments coming from, you know, how they view school. And this is not about space side. This is students talking about learning, the learning process, and sometimes it could become boring. But when we had this program, as we talk about the success of it, I'm listening to the same students saying to their comrades or to their classmates, I can't talk nothing bad about school again. You know, past students wanting to come back to school saying, why, how come they didn't do this when we was, you know, I mean, this kind of excitement and, as Sir said, this spark. And this is what we want to continue, that this momentum that we would have generated with the students. And as a guidance counselor, I'm overwhelmed to see the positive impact that this small but yet dynamic program would have caused individuals to look at school from a different light.
Excellent. And Mrs. Frank Charles, as we have to wrap up because we don't have much time this morning, is there anything that you want to leave with the students as well as the people of Tobago in support of the school? And what can we look forward to in the future from Speyside Secondary High School?
No, I want to leave with the students that to remind them, and those who don't know, to let them know that they are unique, they are powerful, they are ambitious. You know, don't listen to what the outside world has to say. remember that in all, you are a child of God and you can do all things through Christ. Before we go, I would just like to say thank you, because there were a lot of persons that had their hands in it for it to become a success. So we would just like to say thank you to the guest speakers. I wouldn't call names. All the guest speakers that we had, I would like to say thank you. A thank you to you. The sponsors, especially Viewport. We have to mention Viewport Supermarket. They helped us out a lot, so we really appreciate everything that they have done for us. We also want to thank the parents for their assistance, for giving us items, food items, and we also, without this program, the students, we want to thank the students for being involved, for helping us for the day to become a success. We really want to thank them for it, and the teachers for allowing themselves to, because we were there all hours trying to make the place be a success for that day. So we just want to thank the students. We are hoping that this continues every year. It so happens that it did not happen every year past. So we are hoping that it continues every year. We are praying and hoping that we get the sponsors and we get everything that we would need to push so that it could happen every year.
Excellent, excellent. Again, I just want to say congratulations to Speyside High School for such an engaging initiative and understanding that there often needs to be, variety in the way that kids are learning, because, we have different types of learners. Some are visual learners, some are audio learners, and the list goes on. But it is important to pay attention to what the kids are paying attention to now, and understanding that their attention spans are now shorter than ever before. So that we have to create curriculums and initiatives and activities that suit, the current, where we are currently, especially where the kids' minds are. And again, I said I can relate to, understanding the importance of bringing back past students to see where they are now. Because I myself happen to have been a troublemaker in school, So I just want to thank you guys again for coming on and giving us that time and having that conversation. And again, we want to see this, the school wants to see this being an annual initiative. So if you are out there and you want to support something like this, you can contact the Speyside High School. Let them know that you've seen them on Tobago Updates and this is an initiative that you want to get behind. They are open to sponsors, I'm sure, as well as speakers and anybody within different industries who feel like they have something to share that can motivate and engage students. So guys, thank you, and that is all for this conversation. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.